Okay, if I could have everybody's attention here in the media center, we will continue on with our pre-race media availability for Sunday's Hollywood Casino 400. And we're joined now by Carl Edwards, driver of the number 19 Xfinity Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Carl was third in this first practice session. Racing in front of your home track, do you feel any more pressure or less pressure coming in and racing close to home?
I think it's pretty obvious the pressure is pretty high just in general with this format. But yeah, there is a little more pressure coming here, but it's good pressure. I got to talk to Dale Roper this morning. Him and a bunch of guys are here. My good buddy Cameron Cooper's here, fresh out of court. He's an attorney. He wasn't in any trouble. Yeah, so we're having fun. Just it's neat to race here in front of all these people, and the car seems very fast. The weather conditions are making the track extremely fast right now. So we'll go qualify. We focused on that this morning or this afternoon, and is it morning or afternoon? It's afternoon, isn't it?
Afternoon.
So yeah, we focused on that. Now we'll go try to qualify up front, and then tomorrow, if the weather is decent in the morning and the midday, we'll get a good shot at race trim. So everything's going well and having fun.
Outstanding. We'll open the floor to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start with Reed, and then we'll go to Summer, and then up to Pat.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. I don't know whether you've had a chance to look over the 2017 rules package, but I would think that you would applaud the shorter spoiler, shorter than you ran at Michigan, and albeit a little bit wider, and whether you've had a chance to think about that stuff.
No, I have not even looked at it. If it's not leading up to the chase at Homestead, I haven't looked at it, but that sounds good. That's neat. Anything we can do to take aerodynamic dependency away from these cars, I believe makes the racing better, makes it more fun, and it showcases the driver's talent and the crew chief's ability to change. So that's good stuff. But was there more than that? Was it
oh, yeah, there's
a bunch of stuff?
A lot more than that.
All right. Cool.
Changes the splitter, things like that.
Less aero dependency is good. So good job, NASCAR. That sounds like it's going to be fun.
Go to the back to Summer, then to Pat, and then to Nate Ryan.
Summer Bedgood, KickingTheTires.net. I was wondering if you could recall really good memory here, your 2004 Truck Series win and just the celebration you had there. And then with the success that you had in the Truck Series, are you surprised you haven't been able to carry that to the Cup Series and get to victory lane here as well?
Yeah, so that race, that was amazing. That was so much fun. Dennis Setzer and I got together early. I think it was the first lap, hit the fence, and I thought, man, I thought we'd ruin the day, and then we ended up winning the race. And that was the one where I came down to do the backflip, and I thought I could hear this noise, and I thought the engine was blowing up, and I thought, at least the race is over, the engine's blowing up. And when I shut the engine off, I realized that noise was the crowd. I'd never heard the crowd from inside the car. And, people were really excited, and that win meant a lot to me. And then we had that battle with Jimmy Johnson here. I wanted to win that race so badly, and so yeah, it's this place. It's going to be special when we go to victory lane. It's going to be really cool.
Go up front to Pat, then to Nate.
Pat Ticola, NASCAR.com. Kind of exactly on that point. If you win Sunday, what will be your first thought? I won at Kansas, or I don't have to worry about Talladega?
Just the idea of winning here in front of all these people that supported me so much would be huge. But icing on the cake would be no pressure at Talladega. I definitely envy Jimmy Johnson right now. Those guys, they did a really good job, and I know he's going to be on his bike a bunch and relaxing and having a good time the next 2 weeks. So we want to be able to do that going into Talladega.
We'll go to Nate, and then to Blair, and then to Claire, and then back to Jerry.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Carl, the testing lineup for Homestead Miami Speedway came out this week, and you're on it. Two-part question. One, how does Gibbs decide which driver gets to do that test with all four of you guys alive for the playoffs? And two, were you surprised that Martin Truex Jr. is not testing? They're essentially going to be relying on you guys to compile data.
I don't know all of the details. I know that when the year starts, we decide who's going to test where, and I really wanted to test it at Homestead. There's two sides to it. It's an opportunity to test for the ultimate race. I mean, the race that finishes the year, but it's also an interruption in your chase, and you do have to go do it, and it can take away as well. But we feel like testing at Homestead is going to benefit us. I love Homestead. I like going down to South Florida. So, for me, I think it's good, and I think our team is prepared to deal with it. But there are two sides to it. So yeah, I'm not real surprised that they decided not to, but I really haven't talked to them. I don't know their thinking on that.
Go to Blair, Claire, and Jerry.
Carl, Blair Kirchhoff with the Kansas City Star. Does the home track thing make it more difficult for you
What,
to
what
manage?
track? The home track?
The home
Oh, I'm sorry.
track, does it make it more difficult for you to manage your time here? And does this have more of a business trip feel to it than maybe other appearances here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Cam and I talked about this morning on the phone. You know, it's like, hey, I'm going to come up and see you. We haven't seen each other for a long time, but you do have to. I'm very fortunate. I have good friends like Cam, like Dale Roper, or the folks that are going to come up here and visit. They know that I'm here to do a job, and it's really neat. Everyone shows up, and you know, they'll come down to the pit box before the race, or they'll be around during practice. But when I go back to the motorhome where I'm talking with crew chief, everybody knows I'm here to do a job. I mean, they've been around me since day one. They know what the racetrack's about, and I just feel like I'm really blessed to have a good group of people around me.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. I know you don't know all about the 2017 rules package, but the biometrics part where the driver will be able to wear specific, I guess, approved bit fit or something, you know, on your body, or monitor yourself personally while you're in the race car. I know some of that came from the driver council. Would you be interested as a fitness guy in something like that?
I'd only heard just a little bit about that. Brad or somebody brought it up, and I don't know all the details. It sounds really neat. It sounds like something that would be cool for the fans to watch, and it'll be neat to go back through the race and see what kind of parameters are they monitoring. Do you know? Is it like heart rate? What else could they?
They say that's
be?
not going to be broadcast. It's not so everybody will watch your heart rate, but you'd be able to do some basic personal, you know, monitoring in the car.
I thought it was more for the fans to see, so hopefully it goes that direction. That would be pretty interesting to watch.
Have you ever, you know, thought about your heart rate in the car, being as fit as you are, and monitored it yourself, just mentally?
Yeah, we did it one time a long time ago, and it is interesting to look at. I remember thinking it didn't tell me a lot at that time, so we didn't continue doing it. But I've noticed now, going on bike rides and doing stuff, a lot of people are keeping track of their heart rate, and it is interesting to watch, you know, physical exertion and mental stress and all that stuff to see how it plays out with your heart rate. But yeah, that'd be cool stuff to get into. I know Dean Golich, my coach from CTS, they understand so much about those things. So being allowed to do that on a regular basis might open up the doors to learn some things about myself and about the, you know, especially if it's broadcast, to let you learn about your competition, and that'd be kind of cool too.
Jerry?
I think they need them on the crew chiefs too. That would be. I imagine when that caution comes out late in the race, I bet that would be interesting.
Carl, Jerry Jordan, my Performance Racing Network and Kicking the Tires. I talked to Grant Lynch this morning. He said, look, I realize that Talladega gets a bad rap. We expect that. If any driver tells you that it's their favorite track, they're lying.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on Talladega as a track and getting there and racing when you're out on there?
I think it's one of those things. It's like Mark Martin said. It's, you know, that pack racing and that restrictor plate. Once the fans saw it, you know, you're never going to be able to take it away, because it's crazy, and it's stressful. And I don't think any of the drivers. I mean, when it's over, if you were to win, I'm sure that feels great. I haven't done that yet, but in the middle of it, you're thinking, man, this is insane, and that's why people buy tickets. So that's why they tune in. And I mean, you guys are all aware. I don't know how many times you guys have all written or spoken about Talladega in the last few weeks, but I mean, it's out there, and it's and there's a reason. It's unpredictable. Yeah.
Any additional questions for Carl?
What's up, man?
Carl, thanks for joining us today, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys.